How you doing, everybody? I decided to have some fun today because I actually had some time off, and I decided to make this lovely blog about how I process the things that I process. We went to a lovely networking event, and I kept on hearing the same question: how do you figure out someone's in pain and how they do that? And I want to tell everybody how I do that, but I couldn't do it right then and there. It was a little fun, but I decided to, actually put it on the record and actually go and show you guys exactly what goes on in my mind, how I figure out something, how someone has an issue. So what I did is I just text messaged Chris Flo, as everyone knows, and I asked him for a random pain, and let's see what he came up with. All right. Okay. All right. So I asked Chris to give me a random pain and see how I would map it. So the first thing that I do, and what Chris just wrote me, was left jaw. So someone comes in with a left jaw pain. What do I do? The first thing I have to do is understand this person. So a lot of people, I'm going to break this down in a lot of different ways. Let's start off with trigger point work. So let's look. This is just a lovely, easy trigger point book that I've gotten in school. It's very, very common, very, very easy. And let's look up, trigger point pains for jaw. There we go. All right, so first one that everyone thinks about is right smack in the jaw. What this is going to do is going to refer pain all the way throughout the face. So the other thing that I have to do is I have to look at what else is going on. So a lot of people will get just stuck with the trigger point work, and they'll start working trigger points just right around the jaw area. Greater people will start to work its way down the body. So working throughout the whole jaw, up and through the upper back, through here, getting everything through SEM. SEM, getting everything through there. So I'm gonna notice this person has jaw pain, but this is the big difference in what I do. I have to learn about the person, and this is where the tricky part comes in. So now I have this book. This is a human behavior book, and there's a lovely chart in here that shows where a person lies energetically and what a person's going to do to get better. So let's take a person that's just proud. Now, this person has jaw pain and he's proud. What normally happens with a person that's proud is they hold themselves high. They hold everything up. Emotionally, they're high on their horse. They're on a pedestal. So they're up here. It doesn't mean that they're a good or a bad person. They're up here. Now, with a proud person, they're also going to put their head back and almost want to grind their jaw because they want the masculine look. They want to be good. And that's just something that the body's naturally going to do. So already you see a person has trigger points in the jaw. They're going to have trigger points all through here. And inside their jaw, they're going to be naturally grinding their jaw. So this is where it gets a little tricky. So a person with jaw pain. Now we're going to go to the next mapping, which is the myofascial trains that everyone knows about. So let's go to the jaw pain, which is underlying pattern. So with the tricky part about myofascial is you can have a problem way down here and it will map its way all the way up to the jaw. So now I have to watch what else is going on throughout the whole entire body. This is the tricky part. So you have to start looking at their whole entire being as well as what they do in their life as well as what they're doing at that precise moment because people are going to hide. So we go back to this behavior book. This behavior book is going to show me, the way that I use this book is I start reading people and seeing people what they're like. So if a person is in a grief state or in a fearful state is where a majority of the world lies because, the world is kind of scary. So the fear will get people to naturally roll forward. And now I picked pride, I guess, is right smack in the middle. And everything above pride, courage, willingness, acceptance, reason, love will blossom faster through a healing cycle. Anyone lower than pride will start to have trouble because they're going to fight some of the things that the body naturally needs to do to heal itself. So we're at Pride. We have this proud person. He grinds his teeth. He starts to roll his ankles a lot. He's having calf issues. So we start to realize that all the way through the fascial plane, he has a lot of spotty issues. We have to start taking all this into play in order for him to get better. So already I know I have to start working through the anterior plane, which is everything through this line, because this now is going to get all the way up to the SEM. Now the SEM is going to attach right underneath the jaw, which is also going to grab him forward, grab his jaw down, and roll his head forward. Doing all of this will get him to grind, as well as we have to start watching what he's doing, he or she is doing, on the posterior chain, as well as the lateral chain. The lateral chain is also another good one that he can have binding in, and that's anywhere from the lateral part of the ankle all the way up through the IT band, which a lot of people have hip issues. So this is also another chart. Unless you work with all of these things, folks, you're never going to get anyone to completely break through. But this is the main point. You have to address their behavior mannerisms. If you don't recognize that this person's a proud person and he's going to lock his jaw, he's going to stand up tall, and then because they're because just behavioral styles and types, because they're a proud person, they're going to fall off their pedestal consistently because they're going to hold their position. And if anyone addresses them, they might actually try to fight back, or they might, go through a lot of different emotional states on the lower end because they're going to want to get there and hold their pride. And then they're going to want to do things to fight back, which is going to bring in a fight or flight response, which is going to change everything all in a whole. So you have to realize where this person lives emotionally. And Chris Flo just did a beautiful blog about their emotional state of a person. So you want to start realizing where this person lies on their emotional state, on their behavioral styles, before you can actually realize that this trigger point and their jaw pain is an issue that's directly in the jaw or traveling all over the body. So it's never about spot treating one area. You have to spot treat and see the whole picture. Now, that first whole pattern that I just told you about, let's see if we can change it up a little bit. One of the laws of the body follows many laws. One of the laws that I'm governed by what I do in restorative work is something in the front of the body turns on, something in the back of the body has to turn off. So let's go back to that trigger point spot in the front part of the neck. Ooh, sorry, that's not it. The front part here. So they have jaw pain and trigger point pain right through the front part of the body. What's directly behind it that's going to eventually turn off because of it? It could be your scalenes. It could be the back part of the neck. And this is where it starts to get a little bit complex, because after your first bunch of treatments, if that doesn't work, if they don't start to get dramatic results, because you can get dramatic results very, very quickly, it's a matter of getting the body to start realizing and starting to turn over and start doing things differently, which I guarantee you this person has is lower back of the head issues, back of the neck issues, because it's turning up, the trigger points are turning off the rest of the skull. So they're going to have issues all the way through here. So unless you start realizing, because of one of the laws, unless you start realizing something in the front of the body has to turn on, something in the back of the body has to turn off, you're never going to, truly see the whole picture. So what I want you guys to start doing is looking at a person's problem, start realizing their behavior habits, realizing trigger point-wise, myofascial-wise, and then on top of that, behavior-wise, what they do. Until you do that, you're never going to get a clean picture about what's going on. And then on top of that, once you deal with address the problem front on, go to the back of the body, because you realize what needs to happen is this part, the superficial posterior line, also is affected by the anterior line. And then it could keep on going, keep on spiraling. But then you're on track. Then you're always moving forward and forward and forward, because you're never getting stopped by saying, this pain's not going away. I want to get just this pain. It could be so many different other areas that's going on. So the best thing to do is see it all from a whole. And this is only two of the many, many techniques that can work. There's all sorts of different things that you can do. So play with your toolbox. It's never just one tool that's going to work. There's many, many tools out there that can work. It's just you have to start seeing the bigger picture. And hopefully this helps you guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.